Daly.
Thank you very much indeed. It's a pleasure to serve with your chairmanship, and can I congratulate my honourable friend, if I can call him that, for securing this debate. And I've had the opportunity to speak to him about Charlton Athletic before, and he's a very learned and experienced man in these matters. It goes without saying that this is a very raw issue for us within Bury, and it is very hard to put into words, genuinely hard to put into words, what the loss of Bury Football Club has meant to the community within Bury. It has had an impact on thousands of people's lives, to obviously detrimentally. And there are very few things generally that can do that link people, no matter what their ages, no matter what their sexes, their backgrounds. They've come together each week in a collective, positive atmosphere to support Bury, and that has been taken away from them. So when I asked about, when we're considering, this is a debate about football governance, I think that we have the system in place as it is at this moment in time, but if we as MPs are going to look at what should be there, or what we would recommend, we have to actually ask, what is the purpose of governance? Because do we look at football clubs, like the points have been very well made, are these just individual businesses like WH Smith, like Barclays Bank? Are they simply businesses to be regulated on that basis? Why don't, as somebody who is a fan of Huddersfield Town, not a fan of Bury, I'm a supporter of Bury, but not a fan, difference. I don't recognise those clubs as in that manner. They are entities that survive because of the loyalty and an emotional connection between them and their supporters. One can hardly argue that you go to WH Smith because of an emotional connection, but I'm only using that as an example, but I think it's a very important example. So when I asked the question, it was a genuine question regarding, if we were to set up a governance, who are we governing this on behalf of? My honourable friend, again, this on behalf of the game. Now, the game is a very wide thing. Lots of people have got very different interests within the game. You could be a Manchester United, somebody who's involved in sport in that club, who've got playing in the Premier League and all the other things that they have to compete on. A Bury has, essentially, a Bury, its major ambition is to stay afloat, is to simply survive in the league that it's in, to have a sustainable business model, to be able to support its local community. And so I think that if we as MPs were going to recommend, or if we were to look at statutory regulation, we would say that the first duty of the regulator has to be to the fans, to those people who pay their money every week to go and watch each and every team in the country, and it is what is their interest, because Bury is the example, right or wrong, whatever, of the monumental detrimental effect of the loss of a football club. Now, like everything else, the pandemic has had a huge effect on EFL and non-league clubs. I'm going to leave Premier League to one side for a second. And I think we can't ignore the fact that, and this is a very telling point, I agree with everything that my honourable friend has said. I am very tempted to read out his comments regarding Bury Football Club when he was chairman of the Select Committee, but I'll restrain myself from doing that, because I think we all know what those are. But football clubs in the lower leagues have been run in an incredibly bad manner. There were players at Bury Football Club which were earning £10,000 a week with crowds of 3,000-4,000, which just simply is not sustainable. So we have a badly run model which has not been regulated. As my honourable friend has said, there is apparently no way that the current... I do wonder what the EFL actually exist for, if they can't step in and question the business models which they know are unsustainable. Even before the pandemic, half the clubs are running at huge monumental losses. I mentioned Rochdale Football Club only for this reason. Prior to the pandemic, or certainly at the start of it, they had to have a £1 million loan from their local council. Wigan, Mr. Varg, clearly issues with the ownership of Wigan have very much come to the fore in recent months. These are ongoing issues. So we have to, I think, be very clear that the EFL, or whoever the regulator is, needs to take a very strident, stringent, and must have access to the financial records of a football club, and also the financial background of the owner. Steve Dale, the current owner of Bury Football Club, tertiary examination of his business history may well have rung some alarm bells with any regulator, and clearly he wouldn't be in a normal functioning system. Mr Dale would not have been allowed to take over Bury Football Club. And I think that the facts speak. Of course, yeah.
The problem with the system of the Football League is that it is run by people like Mr Dale. It is run by the chairs of the clubs, regulating each other. They don't want people sticking their nose into the way they're running their clubs, because if you do it for one club, you'll do it for another.
Absolutely. And that's why I say that statutory regulation, if that is a possibility, is something very much that I would support, because I see it as the only way of protecting the interests of fans such as Bury. Now, my last point is this, that I think the pandemic has also shone in terms of that business model. The question is how we can massage, how we can work within the system to create football clubs, not merely as the businesses that they are being viewed as by predatory owners and others, but how do they become community assets which sit within their communities and have direct links to other important facilities within their communities. So I have, and I'm not going to, I've had the opportunity since I've become an MP to on a regular basis speak to my honourable friend about this, but my view is, and this may not be a palatable suggestion for many owners, is that we have to look at a model whereby, a partnership model where football clubs work hand in hand with maybe the local college or statutory services of some kind, that you are bringing as many things as possible into a football club because of its unique position at the centre of the community, and allowing as wide a possible number of people to benefit from being able to go and see their local football club, the loyalty and pride that gives them in their area, but also using it as a force for social change. I was in a meeting yesterday where we were talking about youth hubs, armed forces hubs, mental health hubs. Why not, as MPs and politicians, work with local people to get these facilities there and make sure that these are financially sustainable models going forward? So I hope that people will look at that. I hope that that's a sensible suggestion. I hope that we can, if it is possible, the one thing about, certainly from a Conservative background, the idea of forcibly going in and imposing rules and restrictions on what are private enterprises is not something that comes easily to me. But I can see, from my own personal experience, from the impact it's had on the poor fans of Bury, that it is necessary. And final comment, AFC Bury, a wonderful achievement, the Phoenix Club, to get to where they have done. I want to give them due credit, but Bury Football Club Limited still exists. The club that's been there for 130 years and won the FA Cup still exists, and we should still do everything, and the EFL, as the regulator, should do everything to help Bury get back to Gig Lane at the earliest opportunity. And thank you for allowing me to speak for that.